We wish you a Merry Cubesmas. We wish you a Merry Cubesmas. We wish you a Merry Cubesmas and a happy first pick.
Happy holidays from all of us at CoolStuffInc.com. All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome to the Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. It's the holidays. You know what that means? It's holiday cube time. That's right. So a little different today. I'll be playing the holiday cube here on Magic Online. Of course, I feel like it's become a holiday tradition at this point. Just vintage cube being up during the holidays for the last almost 5 years, 10 years. And I'm doing an awesome cube for charity event, which should be today and tomorrow. Actually, if you're watching this on YouTube and stuff. And it's gonna be really, really awesome. I'll get into that a little bit later. So, Vintage Cube, Magic Online, my article on last Friday went over the basics of how to draft Vintage Cube. And today we're going over the practical. We're gonna do the empirical actually drafting. And good start here. Obviously, Mox Emerald's gonna be our pick. The Power 9 is in Vintage Cube. And Vintage Cube is just a phenomenal way to play Magic, honestly. I love cubing. If you follow my content, I have my own cube. I've been cubing for like 15 years. Such a wide array of awesome things you can do, awesome cards you get to play with. It's not often you get to play with Mox Emerald and Tolarian Academy, you know? So, pretty easy pick here. Mox Emerald, obviously. Power 9 cards are usually first picks no matter what. Other good cards here are Tolarian Academy and Treachery. And like I said, we're going to be going over some of the things you went over on my article from Friday about the kind of basics of cubing and what you really want to be doing in your cube drafts, making sure we're aiming high, swinging for the fences, taking super high power level cards, drafting around a plan, and trying to stay open as long as possible as well. So pass the pack here. Love these old border cards. And pretty interesting pack where Skull Clamp is a very, very good Magic card. Although one of the important things that I kind of didn't go over in the article is cards that are really, really powerful but really need to be built around. Skull Clamp, Channel, Oath of Druids. These cards that you really got to work for them, but they are insanely powerful. They do work. Skull Clamp is one of those cards. Huge fan of Dark Confidant as well. Other options here, I mean, like Chain Lightning if you really wanted to be a red deck, Counterspell. Gaze Cradle's pretty sweet, but kind of requires you to be a pretty specific deck. These cards all just kind of middling. Predator, Restoration Angel, Pack Rat, all middle of the road kind of cards here. I think the real picks here, I think, are Skull Clamp, Dark Confidant, and Gaia's Cradle as the three most powerful cards by far. I'm taking Skull Clamp here. Wouldn't fault anyone for taking Cradle or Dark Confidant here, as honestly, kind of the cool thing about Cube is that you get to just pick whatever you think works for you, you know, because everyone can approach it a different way. There are so many viable options in a Cube draft. So, pack 3, interesting card here in Lila, or Lay, I don't know, the Blade Reforged, a commander card here. Extremely powerful card. 2 mana or 3 mana for a 2/2 haste. When it attacks, exile top card of your library. You can cast it. You can play it this turn. And if you exile one of more cards, are put into your exile of your library. Put a counter on it, which is insane. So it's a 3/3 haste basically that draws a card every turn, which is wild. No real direction yet with Skull Clamp, Mox Emerald. Kind of want to be like white or black usually with Skull Clamp, maybe green. The more creature colors. The red decks don't necessarily, Skull Clamp can kind of like slow you down, honestly. But I think I'm taking the Blade Reforged here because the card, I never actually cast it before, and it's usually really cool. That's part of the fun of Cube, honestly, is to be able to take the cards you want to play and play with them. So, ooh, Tangle Wire. I do love me some Tangle Wires, let me tell you. Okay, so Rathalos here is obviously very good. We're passing a pretty good green deck with Cradle and Rathalos. Force Well, pretty powerful card as well. Thoughtseiz's also great. But I'm taking Tangle Wire here. Tangle Wire is one of my favorite cards in Cube. And if you're a newer Magic player, as in you weren't playing, 25 years ago, Tangle Wire is an obscene tempo card. They tap 4 things, you tap 2 things. You can tap the wire itself. Sort of like a one-sided Armageddon for a few turns. And you put a lot of stuff in play. This card is unbelievable. One of my favorite cards in the Cube and just in Magic in general. I wouldn't fault someone for taking Thoughtseize here, maybe Force of Will, but we don't really have colors yet, and I'm happy to stay open and take a card that I love. So right now, through 4 packs, we have some really, really powerful cards. We're pretty open. We have a red card, and we're going to go from there. Karn, Scion of Urza. We do have 3 artifacts so far, and Karn plays obviously extremely well with artifacts. There isn't like a ton of really good artifact stuff in the Vintage Cube. My disdain for the design of Vintage Cubes is long documented, though it's gotten much better in the last few years. So the themes are much more concrete. The artifact theme in the Vintage Cube is not super thick. In my cube is a huge artifact theme, aggressive artifact decks, controlling artifact decks. So a card like Karn would be much better in my cube than in this cube, but I'm sure it's still probably pretty good. It's a super solid card. So when I see my cube, I have a full series on it on my YouTube, and I plan to do cube content for Cool Stuff Inc. as well in the future. But we're going to Karn here. None of these lands are red, so not really a good speculative pick for us, and everything else is kind of just poopy. So pretty easy Karn. Going to keep the artifact train rolling and just see where it takes us. So I talked about in the article from Friday about kind of trying to stay open, take really powerful cards, and try and find the right spot to be, and then just look for your lane kind of thing. So we can kind of just keep the stay open thing going here. I think the most powerful card in this pack is probably Sylvan Library. It's a really, really powerful card. There are a lot of unfair decks in Vintage Cube, which don't necessarily assault your life total. So you have plenty of time to just pay 4 life, pay 8 life, and draw a bunch of cards, which is great, obviously. It's a very, very powerful card. But we're going to body mind here. Right now we have all artifacts. It's a pretty powerful card, pretty dumb card, honestly. Whenever it hits them in mill 10, which is pretty silly. But powerful card, it's an artifact. We're going to stay open here. And take the Sword of Body and Mind. All right, interesting. So we got a couple boom booms here in Kozilek and Elishnorn. Those aren't really us. We see, Oracle Moldiah, also one of my favorite cards. I do love this card. I'm a big, big fan of this card, but not really what we're doing. Savannah is not really in the colors we're probably going to be. Duress is certainly fine, but we're not black. I think I might just take the Golgari Signet here and just keep the artifact thing going. Artifact mana is obviously very, very powerful in Cube, ramping into big things. We got turn 1, Signet of an Emerald, turn 2, Karma. It's insane. Just going to keep this artifact train going and see where it takes us. Nothing here wants it, just telling me to jump ship off that, so I'm going to keep going here. And, okay. Packet's a little less exciting. Skyclave's obviously very good, but double white. I mean, Animate Dead is a pretty good card, but very, not really what we're doing. Avacyn's Pilgrim is pretty good. Does play pretty well with our Skull Clamp and Tangle Wire. We do have a green Signet and a green Mox, so even though we're not necessarily green yet, 1-mana accelerators are really, really good. Plays well with Stored, Blade Reforged, Tangle Wire, Karn. Neither of these lands seem super exciting. I'm going to speculate here on the Avacyn's Pilgrim and see where this takes us. Green, a possibility. A lot of lands here. Ooh boy, a lot of lands. All right, so Blade Splicer, also a card that kind of fits the theme of what we're doing here. Very good Skull Clamp, makes an artifact, 2 bodies for Tangle Wire. None of these lands jump out at me because, again, we don't really know what colors we are. Needle Spire is just pretty bad, and then we're probably not blue, I don't think. So I think Splicer fits the mold here pretty well. So we're not exactly sure what we're doing yet, but again, Splicer sort of fits the mold. We're just trying to speculate and kind of plot out our possible destinations, and I do think that white is one of them. So get back to our second pack here, because the opening pack, I guess we had the Mox, didn't think about it. Knight of the Reliquary is not really where we're at. Neither is Resto. Deathclap Cap Glade is a dual land for colors we already sort of have pieces of. Again, not really interested in Knight of the Reliquary. No Predator. I'm just taking land here. Don't really want the Rat or the Wall of Roots. So we see a Garrick Relentless, which is also a pretty good card. Can lead us a little more into green. Tidal Scholar is pretty sweet and an artifact, but I don't know if we're even white, let alone black and white. And then Usher of Fallen is kind of weak here. Garrick seems great. Just fast mana, play Planeswalkers, it makes threats and kills things. So that's pretty sweet. Very late Hero of Bladehold, which is a very, very powerful card. Also a Scavenging Ooze. I could buy Hero of Bladehold. I think the upside here is higher than Scavenging Ooze. And a Silver Blade Paladin, not a card I'm really a big fan of, but these other cards suck, so sure. Mirari's Wake is interesting, not really what we're doing exactly, and Pyroclasms. So, an interesting start here to say the least. We know we're playing a lot of artifacts probably, and we consider we might be white, maybe not, maybe yes, not really sure yet. Open up pack number 2, no power greets us, unfortunately. There's a Hex Drinker, which is a solid aggressive creature. Only lands are Lumbering Falls and Blooming Marsh. Again, I mean, we have a lot of possible Golgari stuff going on, but nothing really to do with it. Fumigate, not very exciting. Tauren Fist of the Angels is a interesting card. Not necessarily playing a ton of creatures though, so not like super excited about it. Recruiter of the Guard is also, it's just okay. I mean, like, not getting anything super fancy here. I might just take the Hex Drinker. Think we're starting to look like we're green-white, although the white is sort of like, you know, I wouldn't mind just splashing white for like Blade Splicer necessarily. I do want to play this Blade Reforged, but I'm going to take the Hex Drinker here. One important thing in cube drafts is to recognize the mana costs. There's a ton of 3 and 4 drops and not a lot of good 1 drops. So you usually want to prioritize your 1 drops and 2 drops whenever possible. All right, so past the pack, we've got a Council's Judgment. We have a Copperline Gorge, which is interesting. Stirring Wildwood, which obviously helps out the white stuff a little bit. I do really want to play this Blade Reforged, honestly. And I wouldn't mind playing some red removal as well. I don't like that we have 3 white cards and 2 of them are double white. So not really thrilled about that. Copperline Gorge, you know, facilitates our green cards and this red card. Wildwood's also a tap land, so like these tap creature lands are much, much worse than almost any other duel, which is a concern. That being said, I'm going to take the Copperline Gorge here, I think. Wildwood will probably even table, and it's not even that good of a duel regardless, so take Copperline, keep the Blade Reforged on the table, and see where that takes us. Always speculating. Always speculating. Very, very important. Just keep your options open. And options indeed. Battered Skull is a fine card. A lot of blue cards here. Consecrated Sphinx is very, very good. Not a lot of other good stuff here, honestly. We have a Old Rustine here. 1/4 for 3. ETBs are upkeep. Mill a card. If they mill a land, make a treasure. Creature, make an insect. And non-creature, non-land, make a blood. It's not particularly great. Lotus Petal, honestly, I mean, just ramping out a Blade Reforged or Planeswalker is not too bad. Nothing else here has like great upside. Again, Tropical Island, the blue cards kind of Battered Skull's like, it's fine, but it's not like particularly exciting. I'm gonna pedal here. Pedal the metal, just try and get these Planeswalkers in play as soon as possible. I don't love it, but all right, we see, ooh boy, this is a pack. This is a pack indeed. Llanowar Elves, any 1-drop mana accelerator is just great, but also Tireless Tracker, which the clues look really nice in this deck, honestly. It's extra artifacts. I do love me some Tireless Tracker, but I don't think you can afford to pass the 1-drops. Again, trying to value the 1-mana spells as high as possible. You'll always get more 3s, but the 1s are really important. Shadow's Call is also awesome. Piankir Nalar, also awesome, and has a good chance to table, I think. Same with Partners. I think his card could also could table. So I think red-green is sort of on the table here as a possibility. Maybe even like green / white and red. But take the Llanowar Elves here, and I'm pretty happy to commit into green a little harder. Past a pack with a few cards that are okay. Wheel of Fortune is actually kind of interesting as a card. You can just dump our hand and cast Wheel. Risky card to cast, of course, because other decks are very, very good, and they can use 7 cards against you, but cool card. Lightning Strike, a little below the bar. Single to double off-color Signet, not very exciting. Banishing Light is okay. If we had a lower curve at the moment, if I had like 2 more mana elves, I'd be more inclined to wheel here, although the wheel is still pretty appealing. Because nothing else, honestly, is that appealing. I don't really want Lightning Strike in my deck. Banishing Light is fine, but very unexciting. Everything else is kind of eh. Let's take the wheel. Let's go for it. All right. Get past a pack with some fine cards here. I do love Rashad Port, Verdant Catacombs. No duels yet, but could be an important piece. Love Rashad Port as well. Night of Autumn. If we knew we were definitely going to be white, cool. But we actually have like literally no white fixing and 3 white cards. We're not playing Mars making this deck. And 2 of them are double white. So I really think we're like red-green right now. It's kind of like this weird red-green artifact deck. Do love Firebolt. Just a reasonable removal spell. And with Wheel in our deck now, we have a pretty high incentive to keep our curve as low as possible. That being said, Verdant Catacombs, I mean, fetch lands are unbelievable and don't go around very often. We can replace Firebolt. We can't replace Fetch Land. Take the Fetch Land here. Another Fetch Land. Okay. As well as a Sacred Foundry. Again, keeping the possibility of white on the table. Our Catacombs can't get Foundry, though. Should take the Heath. Keep the same idea going here. Porcelain Legionnaire is kind of cool, obviously. It's an artifact creature. It's aggressive. It's pretty cheap. But, again, not, like, completely irreplaceable. And there's a chance that... You know, it's not on the table, but... Still, think that it's going to take the Eve here. Alright, Raging Ravine. Voltaic Visionary is kind of a cool card. New card from Crimson Vow. Just 2-drop, it can draw a card. It's a reasonable creature. Kind of a cool one, honestly. Kind of a cool one. We're a little light on 2s right now. And any way to draw cards is definitely welcome. Because we have so much mana acceleration. Raging Ravine is obviously fine, but again, I'm really pretty low on the tap lands. They're fine, but like they're not great if you're trying to be aggressive. And I think we're just going to pop up on the Visionary here and try this card out. Get back our opening pack. And honestly, Huntmaster of the Fells plays in this deck. If we're going to dump the white here, we open up some spots in our curve. And Huntmaster plays reasonably. So I think we're going to be ditching white. Let's take the Huntmaster. They're starting Wildwood. Still keeping the door open. Survival's not very good in our deck. Obviously don't want empty Passing Flames, Bone Shards, Lyra. I'll take the Wild. I'll take the Wildwood, see what's up. Pretty blank pack for us. Showdown and Partners tables. I mean, obviously Showdown requires much more. Showdown's just so good, though. Partners is pretty good. Showdown's insane. I'm taking Showdown Scalds. If that's like our only white card, I'll be like really happy. So take Relic Warder. No real plans to play it. Take Search Tomorrow. No real plans to play it. Take Chupacabra. No plans to play it. So right now, it's looking like we're green and red splashing white. And we open up a pack with no power, but an Urza's Saga, which is an unbelievably good card, obviously. And we have artifacts where it already plays really, really well, and we have 0s and 1s, so this is a super easy Urza Saga. This is also going to put us just to wanting to be probably more of just a 2-color deck. Now we have another colorless land in the fold. So definitely taking Urza Saga here. I don't think it's a question. And, you know, we pause the table Wear and Tear, Abbott. We'll see, but Saga's just a pick for sure. All right, and get past the pack with some goodies for us here. Smuggler's Copter is pretty awesome. Pretty solid one. A Braid is pretty good. And then again, Finhorn Elves, again, just wanting a huge priority on these ramp effects. Question is, what's better, Smuggler's Copter or Finhorn Elves, I think. I do like a Braid a lot, but I don't think that I'm willing to take it over more good threats. Cut the Hero, cut the Paladin. I'm going to cut the Blade Splicer. And then Showdown's like a, we'll see. I have some good 4s already. We don't necessarily need Showdown Scalds, so. We have 2 mana ramping 1-drops. We have a Mox, a Petal, and a Signet. I'm just taking the Finhorn Elves. We'll table a Braid, Gargaroth, or Copter at this pack, hopefully. So, I'm down. Ooh, boy. All right. This is a big back. Chandra is a very good card. Chandra is certainly a very good card. We are hitting our critical mass here on 4s a little bit. Definitely, I really want to keep my 4s down. Winter Orb's pretty good. We do have a lot of non-land mana, obviously. It's a card that can backfire occasionally, but I do love my Tangle Wire Winter Orb effects. Also very good with Planeswalkers, because you kind of just sit there with the game locked up and keep activating your Planeswalker. So I'm actually pretty down for Winter Orb here. It sucks because, like, it is a chance at tables. And I would love to take Chandra here and table Winter Orb. But I think Chandra's a little redundant, and I'm already a little heavy on 4. Red player might take Inferno Titan. I'm taking the Winter Orb. Oh no. Oko is obviously very good in our deck. So this is a spot where I talked in the article about speculating. If I just picked up some random tropical island at some point, this looks so much better, That's part of the point of cubing. The really good cube drafters are really good at making open-ended speculative picks. So when things like this happen, they have an option to kind of move in and do the thing. Oko is obviously insane and also insane in our deck, making artifacts and just being a busted card in general. We have no current fetch for blue, and I believe we've passed Breeding Pool and Tropical Island already, so we'll not get those for our fetch lands. Realistically, there isn't really a card I want in this pack anyway, so I'm just gonna take it. I might not play it, but I'd rather have the option just in case. And there you go. There's a volcanic island, so perfect. Unfortunately, Heath and Catacombs can't find that, but what's with this art? Glorybringer, Toski, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna Volcanic Island here and see if we can't squeeze this one in. So get rid of Deathclap Gate, get rid of Stirring Wildwood, get rid of Showdown of Scalds. Volcanic Island is in. Oh my god, what did I do? Okay, I did misclick. Okay, there's a Plateau. Plateau, amusingly enough, would allow for my Windswept Heath to fetch red or green, which is honestly pretty good. And then we could, in theory, like backdoor like the Showdown of Scalds, maybe. Gilded Goose is certainly fine in this deck, although not a super reliable source of ramp. And then everything else is pretty unexciting. What's this card do? I don't know. That's so many words. I don't want to read this. Whatever. Plateau or Gilded Goose? I'm gonna Goose. Keep those ones coming, you know. Flame Spill? Flame Spills in the Vintage Cube? Alrighty then. Not a very good pack for us. Thran Dynamo. Usually a pretty cool card, but not really for us. We're currently on like 19 playables. Though this Saga is more of like a spell than a land, honestly. Cultivate, Flame Spill, both not very exciting. I mean, Cultivate honestly isn't like awful in our deck. It is not good, but we definitely would hate it. Flame Spill is pretty bad. I'll take Cultivate. I'm probably not playing it, but all right. Overgrown Farmland. I mean, December's fine. Just like good card. Everything else here is just not good. So December's fun. Just 1 mana removal spell, and get our pack back here. Abdicare, I'll keep, is fine. Just a fine card. We have a lot of 1s and 0s in our deck, so it's pretty easy to play off of it, hopefully. Yeah, sure. So now we're currently at 26, 25, 34, 23, 22, 20, like 21-ish playables. Can sort of split the difference here between Petal and Saga being like a land and a non-land. Copter's great. Copter's excellent for us. Great table. Great table on the Copter. Ooh, Infernal Titan tables and the Chandra does not. Although I'm not opposed to just casting Infernal Titan in this deck. It's a little awkward. We have a lot of ramp. Having one big boom boom is fine. This is a really, really good one. So Mana Flare, nope. Ounce Cut Pestamite, but someone ruined their day. Sorry, folks. No Splinter Twin for you. Toski, Bearer of Secrets. Put that in our sideboard. Dreadfast Demon. From Crimson Vow, Bronze to Mythic to Cube time. Oh. And last pick, Tassiger. So pretty interesting deck here. This is certainly not a deck I would go into Vintage Cube planning on drafting, sort of like red-green artifact aggro. I will say that we are a little short of trying to splash this Oko. We have 1 blue source, 2 blue sources, and that is it. So that being said, I think we're going to pass on it. It's just not worth the inconsistency. If I had like a Birds of Paradise and a Noble Hierarch, something like that also, but it's just not worth it. However, no, it's not playing the Volk either, so we have no... So right now, this is just a red-green deck, and this red-green deck is currently playing 21 spells. So I think we're going to splash white for Blade Splicer and for Showdown of the Scalds. Splicer, Showdown. I don't love it. But we have some free white sources here. We have Pilgrim, Goose, Petal, Wildwood, Heath, So a decent number of white sources, and we're playing literally 2 white cards. So pretty easy, easy splash keys. We actually have a lot of black sources incidentally, and like nothing to really do with them, which is fine. So now we're 23 cards. We're a little mana heavy, but at the same time, one of our lands is Urza Saga. Petals, like, you know, it's a mana source, but like it's not a consistent one. So yeah, I think this is our deck. Could play Search for tomorrow. Also, not really thrilled about that. You know, playing mana like land, search, ramp in your Winter Orb deck's a little awkward, but I think this is our deck. So let's add these in and add some basics. Gonna go with 1 plains. I'm gonna go with a bunch of forests. We have Catacombs and Heath for green. So unfortunately, Catacombs and Heath only get green. I guess the Heath will get the plains also. So our Catacomb doesn't really do much in our deck, to the point where, can we cut it? Is there any reason to play Catacombs in this deck at all? Like no Tile Trackers, no shuffle effects or whatever. No, I don't think so. So we're not gonna play the Catacombs. We want more green than red for sure. So we're gonna cut the Catacombs and add more forest. And so we have Copperline Gorge. Heath gets white. Stirring Wildwood gets white. We're actually a little light on red sources, honestly. I guess the Wildwood, the Gorge, and the Emerald are all green. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10 turn 1 green sources, which we obviously do want a lot of them. But I think we can shave a forest for a mountain here. So we're looking at, put this like here, 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 here. And then we have like Petals, Saga, Emerald's a forest, Heath is a forest, Wildwood's essentially a forest. These are our reds, this is our white. So we have 9 green sources, 10 green sources. That's good enough. So that's the deck. We get a brewski here, folks. This is a pretty interesting looking cube draft deck, and this is part of the fun of cubing. I did not go into this video planning on drafting Gruul Artifact aggro, but here we are. So let's get in the games and see how it goes.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
I guess real fast, I want to say, in the article also I mentioned, my last section of my article on Friday was about the lands you have dictating the things you can play. And as much as I would love to play Oko, as much as Oko is a better card than Showdown of Skulls and Blade Splicer are, the mana we have dictates what we can play. Like I have a Heath, I have a Wildwood, I have a Pilgrim, and I have these white sources that are already incidentally here, and it makes it pretty easy to play white cards, whereas trying to cast Oko will be very, very difficult. So even though Oko is a better card than Showdown and Blade Splicers are, it's just the element of you are dictating what you play by the lands that you have to play them. All right, bad news. Lost the die roll. Good news, we got a Mox in our hand. Opponent mulligan 6, we're going to keep. So no red source yet, but Mox plus Urza Saga just seems pretty insane. So Saga, of course, can get Lotus Petal or Steel Clamp, Blade Splicer, Needle Spires, some Honest Living, Gilded Goose. Okay. So Heath only gets a white or green source. Okay, yeah, we're trying Mox, Heath, Goose. No Saga. So I want to play Splicer next turn, and we'll start making tokens to Saga the turn after. So let's just get to play the Heath instead of go. Again, it sucks we don't have a duel, unfortunately, but that's why you want to take those duels super high. Ooh, look at this. Boros lands and nothing. Get our plains. Unsap. Starting Wildwood. All right, so we're going to play Saga this turn because we're going to start doing stuff with Saga next turn. So play Saga. And cast ourselves a Blade Splicer. And pass the old Turnsky with a bunch of artifacts in play. Pretty good start. And they are not doing much. They're a day tripper. All right, Finhorn Elves. I was gonna just play the Stirring Wild with Tap this turn, but we just play the Finhorn Elves, I think. I'm not sure what we're scared of here. We could like a Wrath or something, I guess, but let's attack first, see what's up. You know what? I'm just gonna play the Wild with Tap MTGO here. Just play around a Wrath. Even if they have a Wrath and we like Saga up, there's just no reason to like add more to this board. So this is something really fishy going on here. Having no plays, even on a mulligan in Vintage Cube, is like almost impossible. So just play land tap here, just so you go. Make it double Saga, get Skull Clamp, start doing stuff. Our Saga tokens are freaking huge. Jeskai, eh? It changes things a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. And they're going to go Nahiri the Harbinger. Interesting. They could exile my Urza Saga here. Nope. Going to exile the Golem. Sure. So 4 mana to kill my creature. I guess that's fun. Make one of those. Unzap. Draw. Mountain. And they're going to pop off another token here, because YOLO. Going to get ourselves a Skull Clamp. Thank you very much. And we have a red source here, too. We do need to kill Nahiri. I might actually just put the Clamp on the Goose. Attack Nahiri for 2 and them for 5. And again, I'm a little inclined to just not play Finhorn Elves. So yeah, we're going to go Clamp on Goose. Attack them. I'm going to assume that's Nahiri. Usually just say Nahiri, but sure. Nahiri, them. And then we're going to just pop this Blade Splicer with our Skull Clamp next turn. And draw 2. And Sega. Skull Clamp and Wheel, not a great combination, but I think we'll live. And like worst case scenario, they have a Wrath here. I just have a Wildwood in play also, and a bunch of cards in my hand, so. Doesn't take too much to make Urza Saga pretty good. Chandra. That Chandra is not doing much. Add red, sure. Hey. Touche. They're going to steal my construct. It's not going to be nearly as good for them as it is for us, obviously, but still a worthy cause. Now they have a protected Chandra, and we draw Showdown of the Skulls. That's a pretty good one. All right. We're going to start by casting Showdown, I think. Is it possible we want to just cast Abbott, and then cast Signet, and then cast Finhorn Elves? And wait 1 turn on Showdown to really maximize it? They have 2 cards left, and I can pressure Chandra pretty well here. Yeah, I want to get some artifacts in play for the construct too, so we'll just cast Abbott first. Just start there. See what turns up. A Forest, sure. So play Forest off Abbott. I'm going to cast the Signet. Nice, useful prowess trigger. And we're going to make 2 mana, play Finhorn Elves, and put Clamp on Gilded Goose again, and just poke this Chandra. I'm going to block and kill my Goose. Great. So we draw 2. Tangle Wire. All right, so as long as our opponent's next turn isn't like fundamentally broken in some way, you know, like Black Lotus upheaval, something like that, you know, like I think we're in pretty good shape here. With many threats and Tangle Wire, yeah, Muldrifter is not fundamentally broken. I would say hardcasting Muldrifter is, well, fun, the opposite of fundamentally broken. So they have 3 cards in hand, play land. They have not used the Chandra yet. They're going to minus and kill my Abbot, sure. So let's see here. Untap and draw a Blade Reforged. That's also pretty good. So if I attack, I exile top card my library. I may play that card this turn. So I'll just like start there, I guess, right? And we're playing Tangle Wire like almost for sure. Blade Reforged. Attack both at Chandra just to kill it. Then get Tangle Wire going. Tangle Wire should lock this game up. It's essentially one-sided with the Food and the Skull Clamp in play. So this thing, whenever it attacks, exile top card of your library. You can play it this turn, and it also will get bigger. It's a Lana Wells, adorable, castable. Just gonna let Chandra go here, probably. Yep, sure. And then we're going to play a land. And a Lana Wells. And a Tangle Wire. And the question is now, do I want to eat one of my Lana Wells to draw 2 cards? Yeah, I think I do. And draw 2. Sure. Your turn. Once again, a requirement for my opponent to have a fundamentally broken turn here, which is going to be very, very difficult with Tangle Wire in place. Again, Tangle Wire, of course, I'm hiding it. Beginning of each player's upkeep, they tap X things, where X is the number of counters on Tangle Wire, and X is currently 4, and then it fades away by 1 every turn. And I can fade it before tapping, and then I can tap Tangle Wire to it as well. So they tap 4 things. They have, so essentially a triple stone rain here. Wasteland, go nuts. Got plenty of things to do with my mana. I don't really need this Stirring Wildwood. Sword of Body and Mind. Actually a little scary, because we could be decked here with only 17 cards left, but I think they're actually just dead on board. So stack the tap first, then fading. Fade it down. Tap 3 things. I don't care if they're tapped. So tap 1, 2, 3. I guess I can't stack my food, but whatever. Avacyn's Pilgrim. Okay. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 11 straight up without the Wildwood. Don't want to get decked. So, I mean, we're just going to attack. Yeah, whatever. I should put the land, though, stupid, whatever. Like, maybe I should just send in the, I screwed up here. I should have sent in the Wildwood also. They're going to bolt this in response. They're going to path. Okay. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. All right, we'll see what happens here. We'll search. I'm actually going to decline. Just not find a land. We have plenty of lands. I'm worried about decking, so exile top card. It is a forest, so we must out on the ability to play that, whatever. If I attack with the Wildwood, they still wouldn't be dead, which is fine. They're going to play, do this, do that. They need to tap 3 things. They can tap the equipment also. 2 to equip, and then attack. And they're at 6. They don't have enough mana to activate Needle Spires, which would kill us. Protection from blue and green. Obviously, I have green things in play, so... yeah, I mean... Alright. Old Hunty. Play Pilgrim. Putting Skull Clamp on anything, I think it's fine. Just put it on the Huntmaster. Probably not playing Wheel of Fortune this game. Just gonna toss that one out there. Let's say go. This card's not real. Tangle Wire, yeah. And once again, they can just tap the sword and 2 lands. I'll be pretty sad if I lose this game. I'm not gonna lie. Like maybe the WoW should have got in last turn. Then I couldn't have cast Huntmaster, I don't think so. Play Portent. The Slow Ponder, which is a good sign for us. They're playing and targeting themselves, not me. Obviously can't draw off of it initially, so. They get a blocker off of their sword also. We still have lethal, even through Wasteland, though. So, and they're going to hit us. They're going to mill 10 cards and get a wolf. We now have 5 cards left, so we are not casting Showdown or Wheel of Fortune. All right, Wasteland, sure. So unless they have a Path or Bolt here or some sort of, whatever swords, whatever rule spell. I think we are probably good to go. Karn, Scion of Urza. Well, it's win or lose, because if this thing hits us next turn, we're just dead. So we got nothing to do but swing all out. They block here and take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it looks like. Oh my god, I misclicked. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you, opponent. Merry Christmas to you. That's really annoying. So they're almost surely dead on board. We just misclicked the game away. That sucks. All right. Yep, nothing we can do. We just misclicked the game away. So very unfortunate. Definitely sucks. Not much to tell you. You can all make fun of me in the YouTube comments. I'll win this match 3-0. I'm not worried about it at all. Yeah, whatever. Pretty dumb. Not gonna show any more cards either. So. Yep. All right, cool. Good old misclicks. Playing too much arena. So some sort of weird like Jeskai deck. Toski is interesting. It is definitely interesting. Not really an effect we need, I don't think, though. So pretty sure we should run it back. Very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. Just double click. It says single click by accident. Clearly knew what I wanted to do. I would assume they had, they obviously they could have had a swords or a bolt or something there, and like they would have won. You don't know, we'll never know, I suppose. But them's the breaks. Good time to remind everyone, check out CoolStuffInc.com. 5% off your order. Promo code Jim5. Free content every week, though. Oh. So much worse than a mistake. All right, on the play. Not a problem. I'll win this match 3-0 easily. That hand's pretty bad. Pretty fair hand. Although it's not like terrible. All right, I'm gonna keep. It's not a good hand, but I'm gonna tilt keep it for last game. On the draw, I think I would definitely mulligan, but it is vintage cube. You gotta really do stuff. Can't afford to just sit around and do nothing. All right, now playing Winter Orb on turn 2. And we see a Riftwing Cloudskate. Sure. So coast is clear for our Blade Reforged. Pretty awesome. Attack, trigger. Exiling Huntmaster of the Fells. Gone forever. This card's not real. Like, 3/3 haste for 3. Grows every turn. Draws a card every turn. It also will trigger on things getting exiled. So if I exile off Abaddon Carol Keep, it'll trigger again. Which is just insane. Alright, so easy attack here. Or we'll attempt to attack at least. Gonna get pathed. Nope. Here comes the attack. Exile top card. Now it's a 4/4. It's a dismember. No go. That's a no go. But it's a 4/4, so it's still great. I'm gonna attempt to play Garrick. See what happens. Might counter, but whatever. Plenty of stuff going on here. Next turn is going to be Blade Splicer Winter Orb, so alright, they're just gonna chill. Wolf is green. End step. Pestermite. They're gonna splinter twin us on turn 4, aren't they here? Got to get the misclicks out before Cube for Charity. Yeah, they obviously have it. That's an absolutely disgusting match of Magic. All right, sorry folks, my bad. I guess my bad. Misclicked away round 1 of our Cube draft here. All right, 0-1. All right, round 2. Definitely an unfortunate round 1 there. Their deck seemed pretty slow. I'm pretty sure it would have won game 3 on the play. But what are you gonna do? Whatever. All right, we're gonna keep. Turn 1, Smuggler's Copter. Turn 2, Sword. Ooh. Little mono red here, maybe. Our deck's a little light on removal, but more of a threat format than a removal format. Lotus Petal, too. Alright. Play Coopter. Sort of body and mind not great against red. Magda. Magda's pretty good. Magda's a pretty cool card. Attack for 1. Okay. I like Magda. It's a cool cube card. It's not in my cube. It could be a thing I want to do. Ooh. Alright, so I mean, kind of cool here. We could just like jam Garrick off of our Lotus Petal, make a token. So if I kill Magda, they'll kill the Garrick, and it's not like a great exchange. If I make a token and they try and kill the token, I can create a Copter, so I can block either way, and Garrick will most likely live, which I think is worth it. So. Let's play Garrick. Make a token. Say go. We now have 2 blockers effectively through removal spell. So Garrick should live. Might end up being Garrick the Veil Cursed, but that's fine for us. If I get to make 1 more token with Garrick, I'll be really happy. If they bolt Garrick or whatever, it's fine too, honestly. Ooh. So of course, important to note that while cubes are singleton, the cube on Arena is played in league play. So you draft your deck and play against a large pool of players, so you can play against the same cards. Which is a little weird, I guess. They just lost their Blade Reforge. Probably the best card in their deck, honestly. So that's good for us. Good for us. Now what you gonna do? When we get to untap with Garrick, we feel more comfortable just like bolting this and flipping it. Let's see what they do here. No attacks. All right. Missed the land drop too. So it's untap and draw Winter Orb, which is a little weird right now. They only have 2 lands in play, but keeping their mana tapped is actually pretty good with us having a Planeswalker in play and a Smuggler's Copter too. Let's cast Abadakar. I'll keep it start there. Kind of want to turn a land up here, honestly, but a 1 or 2 drop would be fun. Hey! Definitely don't want to cast Wheel of Fortune, so whiffs on both sides as far as Abbott goes. I'm going to kill the Magda and just play Winter Orb and just say go with 2 blockers in play. Just slow this game down with Planeswalker in play. Pretty good plan, I think. We have Sort of Body in mind too, and obviously a Mox, so play this. We're going to deal 3 to Magda, so they can't make mana off of it. Transform to Veil Cursed. Play Winter Orb. Prowess, I suppose. And we could try and crew here and attack, but I wanted to keep my Garruk alive. So I'm just going to say go. Garruk has the ability to sacrifice a creature and search for a creature. Probably not doing that, though. So to work our way up to Sword of Body and Mind, too. Again, Winter Orb with them, I'm only have 2 lands in play is a little weird, but they're stuck on mana anyway. So yeah, cool. Do love me some Winter Orb. Do love my opponents are not allowed to play Magic. So pretty good draw. Pretty good draw. For what's probably not a great matchup for us, honestly. Mono Red seems pretty good against us. So let's hop into the sideboard and see what we got. Usually we're able to pick up some, like, you know, a Baneslayer or whatever against Mono Red. Don't really have much against them, honestly. It's funny. We could bring in, like, some black cards if you wanted to exchange the white for the black, because Shadow of Skulls isn't really great. Our black sources aren't awesome. We just have a Glade and a Catacombs and a Signet and a Petal and a Goose. It's pretty easy, honestly. Also makes playing Dismember less painful, which is a nice side effect. We're going to do that. Cut the Blade Splicer. We're going to cut the Shadow of Skulls. Cut the Plains. Cut the Wildwood. Cut the Heath, because now there's no purpose in having that. We're going to add a Glade, add a Catacombs, and add a Swamp. Now we're back at 17 lands. And then we're going to add Old Rustine, which is like a fine blocker. It's mono red, just like a fine little value card. Chupacabra, obviously double block, can't play that one. But I think that Tasigur is kind of fine too, honestly. This is too many lands. This is too many lands. Because we have the Mox, we actually have 18 lands here. Bring in Tasigur. And yeah, Chupacabra's too hard to cast. And then we're going to remove, I think, a red source. Yeah, it's so easy to add the black sources here. Yeah, I'm going to remove a red source, I think. I guess Wheel of Fortune is also not great against them either. Maybe I actually bring in Search tomorrow. I'll find that black source to spell for the graveyard. Like, Wheel is just, like, terrible against them. So, bring in Search. And I also want to cut a land, too. Pyroclasm is obviously super awkward because I have a bunch of mana creatures in my deck. So, I don't really want to Pyroclasm. Not the Tangle Wire is great against them either, but might be Toski. Take out the Mountain. Toski's like, it's not great against them, but it just like blocks for a turn and then starts attacking. We're on the draw. It could be Klasm, honestly. Maybe we bring Klasm and just like, it's super awkward in our deck, but if it's in our opener, we can just play around it. That's so good against them if it works. So I'm cool with this. Make sure very important when you swap colors in the cube draft to make sure your lands actually work. And they do we have our 1 swamp here? Yes, we're good to go. So a bit of a switch here for game 2. Tommy G. All right. So hand's a little sketchy, but we're gonna keep. We have Search. Drawing a land, our hand's insane. So no 1-drop. That's nice for us. We draw. Actually, that's great for us. Now I get to Pyroclasm and get to seal our Pyroclasm too. So nothing fishy here about this. Just playing Searcher tomorrow, which we're going to do anyway. And we can even play turn 2 Copter if we draw a land. Just like, again, you know, kind of get this Pyroclasm nice and hidden. Super high upside, you know. Just turn 2 Abbott. No Mox, please. Magda. Sorry, Magda. Not today. So would like to draw a land here, but if we don't, it's not the end of the world. We did. It's fine. It's my Copters. They go. Obviously, our land can get a mountain here, so I would like them to play a creature. I mean, you can Pyroclasm in 2 for 1 and cast Horn Elves and attack with Smuggler's Copter, which are all very, very good things for us. Too big. Too big. It's a 3/3. All right, so now we are in an interesting spot. Gonna search. Gonna get a mountain. Gonna draw a card. It's a Garruk Relentless. Visionary is painful. It is definitely painful. But I think we're just playing Visionary and Skull Clamp here. I could obviously flip Visionary next turn. Play a card off, I think, as Pyroclasm, which is cool. And I don't mind trading Copter for God of Storytelling here. So And just getting clamped down makes our Tangle Wire better. Now we have things to tap to it, so not the best start here. Unfortunate they played a 3-toughness creature, but gonna work our way around it if possible. All right, yeah, we're gonna fire a Copter and try and block with Copter. They can kill it obviously, and I could just block with the Visionary, but I'm gonna go for the block here. And discarding Tangle Wire at this point I think is pretty good for us. They now have 4 lands in play, so Flame Spill. I was making fun of Flame Spill. Sure. It's a little prowess action. Take a lot of damage here. Take 7 total. They make a red. Does not empty. Yeah. I mean, I could have just blocked with the Visionary. I was pretty happy to loot too. Oh my god. Flame Tongue Yearling. This is a pretty good draw from our opponent. That kills our Visionary. It does make Pyroclasm better, I guess, but they still have this 3/3. We draw land. All right, we should Clasm, play Llanowar Elves, say go. Set up for Garruk next turn. Garruk can just trade with this if possible, so play Clasm. Play land, play Fëanor Elves. We could clamp it if we're like feeling super frisky. Just like draw 2 right now, guaranteed. I almost don't hate that, honestly. Only 2 cards left. We're about to take 3, but a lot of stuff just kills us, and we just lose the value anyway. We're not really ramping anything regardless. As long as we're playing Garruk and Tangle Wire next turn, I'm just gonna clamp it. Cool. That's fine. Nothing super exciting, but whatever. Again, if all Garruk does is come down and bolt this 3/3, I think that's fine because we have a good late game here. So, or they'll play Koth of the Hammer, which will probably just kill us. Yeah, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. All right, now we're dead. So we're going to game 3 here. That's fine. They had a pretty good hand. Line up all against our Pyroclasm too. And draw a Karn. Karn is not good enough. We go to 4 and we're dead. We could in theory make a wolf blocker, I guess. It's not trample, do they? I think it's Koth also just going to ultimate next turn. And we can't beat that. So that's a 4. Yeah, it goes to 5, then ultimates. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we can't win, but whatever. We'll keep trying to play, I guess. In theory, we go to 1 and need to survive literally anything. That's something. I guess we're still alive, but now we're just dead. Whatever. We're just gonna next game. It's fine. All right. So yeah, it's fine. They had a pretty good hand in the play. Our hand wasn't great. Again, I don't think it's a great matchup for us. We're a little lighter removal. And their removal lines up pretty well against us, but that's fine. That's fine. Just a minute. Like, we have a lot of tools here. We have a lot of tools. Our Orb and Tangle Wire obviously get much better on the play too. So, like Huntmaster, Inferno Titan are both insane against them. Even Old Rusty and just a block is fun. Which member? Yeah. Definitely want like a nice rampy draw, you know? Maybe Llanowar for 2, maybe a Mox. Get one of these big 4s down early. Even the 3s are pretty good too. All right, on the play. And hand is pretty good. We can keep this. Obviously, if they just like turn on Bolt my elf, it's a little rough, but we have plays otherwise. If they don't, our hand's really good, so. Not a bad Winter Orb hand with 2 mana creatures, I guess like a half mana creature, a Signet. Oh, they have their own Mox, huh? The old Mox lottery. We have Mox in our deck too. Goblin Guide. Top card's a land? It is a land. It is a land. We could just play Old Rustine and just like start grinding that engine, honestly. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Obviously, our Winter Orb is much worse now that they have a Mox, but all right, let's try out Old Rustine. I have not cast this card yet in Crimson Vow Draft. Mill a land to get a treasure. I guess I could have cast the Gilded Goose there too, but I'll hold this, I think. Got the Goose Ski. Excuse me. Flame Spill, sure. So, ended up being fine. Another land, man. Goblin Guide's on its game today, that's for sure. Untap and play our entire hand. Hello, I'm sorry, how many permanents do you have? We get a count. We get a permanent count here. All right, we're going to crack our treasure here. We're going to go Signet. Yeah, Signet Goose Wire. Yeah, I like that. Signet. Goose. Food. Wire. God, I love Tangle Wire. Oh, it feels so good. Especially with stuff to do. You got clamping to do and rule spells to cast and geese to cook some eggs, and now you have Winter Orb too. And like, even though they have a Mox, I think the Orb is still fine here. Wouldn't mind us having a little more artifact mana to make the Orb better, but play land. Don't you battle display me? Don't you do it? Sphere. Block. No? Okay. Untap. Fading. Tap wire, food, and probably the I kind of like playing Orb and Dismember this turn. I'm gonna attack this. Just a pain-free Dismember, get their permanent countdown, and play Winter Orb. Because I could take 2 and cast Skull Clamp also. That seems fine, actually. And play Skull Clamp. And play Winter Orb. Where we lock things up here a little bit. Give ourselves time to utilize our Skull Clamp and draw some cards. Get Abbot of Carol keep going. Etc. Etc. So tap 2 things, tap 3 things. Once again, they are not playing Magic, which is my favorite place for my opponent to be. And now I want to draw into some Planeswalkers and some stuff. Eventually, Tangle Wire will go away, obviously. So, no way to kill his Mox in our deck, unfortunately. Ooh, no land either. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Love it. Untap. Untap a Farst. Fading. Fade it. Tap it. Bop it. Draw. Ooh, that's a card. That is a card and a half. All right, let's make a red here. And tap our Signet. I want the lands on tap, so play the Blade Reforged. It's a thing to be doing. And I guess I gotta equip the Skull Clamp, but let's see what our top card is. We have a lot of 1s in our deck. All right, it's not a 1-drop. So any land there or 1-mana spell would have been castable. So we're gonna get in, and I think we're gonna put the Clamp on the Blade Reforged, even though it makes it a little easier to kill. Just like if they do bolt it, we get some value. So say go. Things on untap. Tangle Wire you. I'm sorry, one thing is on untap. So they can keep a mana up here if they want it. There's a land. They have 4 spells in their hand. A Braid targeting the... Wow. Going after the Blade Reforged and not my Skull Clamp. So letting us draw some cards here. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Tap Skull Clamp. Search for Tomorrow. Versus Saga. Saga's a little awkward with that. Winter Orb, but it's fine. Play this. Play Saga. I guess I should like play the... Gotta make a food too, so I'm just gonna make a food. And do I want to even play Search tomorrow? Or suspend it? No. I'm just gonna play this. And say go, make a food end step. Tapping the Signet and the Finhorn Elves. About to make some Monster Urza Saga tokens. When Saga dies, I'll get Mox Emerald, so I'll have more mana. Tangle Wire, of course, is fading away here. I just love Tangle Wire because it's actually just like card disadvantage. It's just a card that literally does nothing. And it's so good. It's just so good. So tap Goblin Guide. Beginning combat, pass turn. Make food. Gotta be some pretty big Saga tokens, let me tell you. Alright, so it goes up. We've passed the Ursus in the Tangle Wire phase of the game and moving into the next phase of the game. Both of which seem to favor us. I'm not even going to play Abbott or anything like that. I'm just going to say go here and make our Construct. I guess I just cast Search. I mean, I'm just going to play tap 1 and suspend Search. Nope. Those. And just say go. Constructs ahoy. No point in clamping yet. End step, wear the Winter Orb. Sure. At this point, that's like, man, they said on white for terror, but so they've unlocked they finally wrenched their way out of our Python grip, but we're like fully set up now. So Hell Rider. Okay. Okay. I will activate my Urza Saga. Make a 6/6. Take 1. Take 1. Reveal top card. It's a Inferno Titan. Sure. I will line up a block. Get to make food here too, so we're not under Winter Orb anymore. Good luck. Chain Lightning. Oh, the onboard tricks. All right. Make a food. And that's going to go to game 3. And we'll not copy that back. Fortunately, Tangle Wire goes away here. But yeah, so pretty awesome game. That game we just witnessed there was my favorite kind of cube game. Just grinding them out. Just grinding them out. 1-1. Wait, what? Those 3 games. All right. 1-1. All right. Interesting one here. Keeping. We got on the draw. No green source, but Llanowar Tangle Wire Lotus up. There it is. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna Llanowar Elves here. I mean, interesting hand. This Petal's not really doing too much yet. We can fire off an early wheel here too. We also have wheel plus wire, which is pretty awesome. lock him out of playing cards, then make him discard them all. Selesnya Signet, sure. Pretty good. Pretty good. Copperline Gurge. Kerper Gurge. Yeah. Just gonna Visionary. Not ready to Tangle Wire yet. We wire here. They tap everything. I untap, tap. Pedal, wire, land, play Visionary. They tap 3. That's pretty good, actually. The pedal changes the math a lot. We also have this Wheel of Fortune, too. Yeah, sure. Let's play Tangle Wire. Not going to talk me into playing Tangle Wire, you know? This card's also just so undervalued that I get it like every draft, I feel like. Tap all yo stuff. Tap it. If you hold Tangle Wire, Wheel of Fortune combo. Ew, that's pretty good. Pretty good response to the Tangle Wire. So they can tap it in response. Pretty good. Pretty good. Anything else? All right, so fade it down. Tap 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm trying to tap the land. Attack for 1 here. Skull Clamp also. Yay. Alright, so that and that. And MTGO. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, they can't. It's a saga. Right, it's not on your upkeep. It triggers in your main phase after it's already tapped. So that's awesome. Probably casting Wheel next turn. Then they can do this on their next upkeep, but then I'll have played Wheel, which is great. So Tangle Wire, Skull Clamp. Okay, draw Smuggler's Chapter. Yeah, just Copter Wheel attack. We're not gonna tap this thing. So play land, play Copter, play Wheel. They discarded Elspeth. Oh my god, they had a Lotus in their hand. Just didn't play it. Elspeth, Swords, Identity. Fetters, Elspeth, Black Lotus. That is some hand, my friend. That is some hand you just ditched there. And we just cast Copter, right? Yeah. So we're going to attack for 3, and we're just going to cast Pilgrim, I think, too, right? See what this hand turns up for them. So they discarded all of these hitters. It's a really good hand. I mean, like, Identity's one of the best cards in the cube. Swords is obviously great. I can't believe they didn't play the Lotus, honestly. Do the thing. This still makes them tap all their stuff. And I get to Winter Orb them too. It is the holidays. It is the holidays. I'm full of Christmas cheer. All right. Untap, fade. And tap Tangle Wire. And they have a 2/2. I can play Winter Orb and Garrick. And just do everything, honestly. Play Garrick. I'm going to kill this thing. Flip it. I'm going to play Winter Orb. Crew Smuggler's Copter. And attack. Loot. Discard him out. Yep, that's gonna be it, folks. Pack it up here. We're done. We're done. It would have been a different game if they cast Black Lotus, honestly. They could have actually just played Lotus Elspeth. Which is kind of surprising they didn't do that, honestly. Definitely surprising. I love surprised they Lotus was like a perfect answer to our hand. But they were being greedy with it, I guess. So we'll take it. Their deck does seem pretty good though. I mean, to be totally fair. But they have multiple Planeswalkers. I mean, turn 1 Elspeth is like unbeatable. So just gotta hope they don't draw Black Lotus. which just, that's part of what Vintage Cube is. I do personally feel that, in the abstract, the correct way to build a cube for like maximum fun and replayability is a non-powered cube, because power does get old pretty fast if it's just like, all right, you had Lotus again, you won. However, powered cubes are also fun once in a while, so I think it's, whipping it out during Christmas is pretty sweet. Bring out the old Vintage Cube. This is fine. I'm just looking at a sideboard, so I don't think I want anything. All right. The old Jim D hand of the week. Lotus Petal does tap for one of any color, but yep, get a mulligan that one into a good hand. Sounds pretty good. Keep this. We got turn 1 Copter if we want it. Sure. Ship Farst. Keep the Wildwood. Celestial Colonnade, absolutely. All right. I mean, Hex Trigger's nice. Smuggler's Copter's nice. Copter not as good turn 1 on the play on a Multi 6, so there's not much to discard, but I'm not going to complain. Farce is a fine discard. All right, play Hex Trigger. And Crew. A little pause there, a little pausey. Attack. Loot. Discard Farst. All right. I mean, play the Pilgrim, I suppose. Play Wildwood. Say go. We're both on pretty good draws here. Obviously, turn 1 Copper's good, but they have their I mean, this honestly isn't that bad because they're killing my 2 creatures and discarding 3 cards. So while it is very powerful, this is just a 4. It's actually a 4 for 2. They discard Spell Pierce, land, and it's not my creatures. We have equal lands, so not too bad. Honestly, not too bad. Could be worse. All right, Llanowar Elves. Fire up Copter. They have 2 cards left. Hopefully they're not really good. Like Black Lotus, Sun's Champion. Loot. That was good. All right. I mean, we're a little all in, but not a bad place to be on a Mold 6. White-green. White-green. Faithbound Judge. New card here. Crimson Vow. Bronze Mythic. 4/4 flying Vigilance Defender. And then eventually can attack. It's actually pretty good against my my poor Smuggler's Copter here. So, Lotus Petal. Top card is Showdown of the Skalds. Don't mind if I do. Cast it. Flip Visionary. Top 4 cards. Exile Signet, Skull Clamp, Blade Reforged, and Garruk Relentless. I do want to cast multiples of these. I can use the Lotus Petal to get a trigger later, though, for next turn. I'm just going to cast Skull Clamp. And then next turn I'll have 6 mana. If I draw a land, I'll have 7 mana. That's fine. I'm going to cast the Skull Clamp. Hold on. Play Signet. Play Petal. Play Garruk, or the Blade returns. Yeah, I'm just going to cast Skull Clamp now. I might be able to play it later for an extra counter, but I'm just going to cast it now, I think, and just get it out there and not risk losing my hand. Or losing. I don't know exactly. It's a tough call. So Faithbound Judge goes off. Showdown's so freaking good. Really, really awesome cube card. Such a good card. All right. Wall of Omens. Sure. So, untap. This can't attack next turn. Draw a Forest. All right. So, we are going to play Signet. probably just play the not even live segment, I guess, right? Just play the Blade Reforge and the Garrick. I want to pump this Copter up though, which I can do. So let's start by playing Garrick. Put the counter on the Berserker. Berserker. And then we're going to make a token. Crew Copter. Play Lotus Petal. Counter on the Copter. Play land. I think this is like fine. Put a counter on the Copter. Move to combat. Don't think I mind trading the Berserker for the Judge. This would be a 3/3. That attack is bad. Yeah, I think this is fine. Attack, loot. Is there any graveyard stuff at all in my deck at all? So is there a reason to loot here and put a card in the graveyard? I don't think so. Just not going to. I also think that because we have a Saga in our deck and tutors and stuff, that like it's possible that milling a card. I guess you've already used all our tutors for Saga, but whatever. Not often that milling a card is like a net negative, but attack for 10. And if they wrath me, I have a Planeswalker, a Skull Clamp, and a creature land in play. So we're going to leave the Judge in play. I cannot attack next turn. So if they wrath me, I have Planeswalker, Vehicle, Enchantment, Skull Clamp, creature land. Yeah, it's not even close. So they fumigate there, and then I think they just have no chance to win, which is awesome, by the way. We draw Inferno Titan. I can't actually cast that one, which is humorous, but alright, so trigger the Saga. Make a token. I can't crew the I can't activate Stirring Wild, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, let's just make a token. Crew Copter. I guess we're gonna loot. So like we'll just like equip this. We might discard Inferno Titan. If not now, then when, you know? So draw Abbot of Carol Keep. Sure. Discard Inferno Titan, whatever. Get in for 6. Play Abbot. Put a counter on my Wolf, I think. And hit a Heath. Sure. That's our white source. Kind of cool. And then we're going to move the Clamp over to the Wolf, because this won't be a creature anymore. And now we've got access to our creature land now. Nice sticky board here. Nice sticky board. White. Gideon. Man, white Planeswalkers for days. Thankfully, Gideon's not very good when you're behind. And our opponent is behind. It's one way of putting it. Get the planes, untap, and draw. Gilded Goose can crew Copter with the help of Skull Clamp. So we're gonna bolt this. That's it, folks. That's it. All right, so we went 2-1. Again, we misclicked our loss in round 1. I'm feeling extremely confident we could have had game 3 on the play against that deck. But what are you gonna do? So that's Vintage Cube. I will note to everyone that everyone who has a Magic Online account got a free Cube token. So you can do 1 Cube draft for free. Thank Wizards for that, of course. That's a really awesome thing to do for everyone. And highly encourage it. Read my article from CoolStuffInc.com from last Friday. I go over all the basics of cubing. So if you're new to cubing, great place to start. It can be a little daunting, obviously. It's a lot of information at once, but my article on Friday helps break that down for you. Check that out. You can build your own cube on CoolStuffInc.com. I have my own articles on Cube. I have videos on my YouTube on Cube. I do love Cube. I want to do some more Cube content for cool stuff because Cube's freaking awesome. But and again, Cube for charity. I'm doing an event. If you're watching this on Monday, it's already happening, and it's happening on the 27th and 28th, 48 hours straight. Myself, my team of myself, Reed Duke, Arya, and Cedric Phillips against Team J-Bro's team. J-Bro's a cube master of Gabriel Nassif, Caleb Durward, and Ali Warfield, Meebo. And it's going to be the best event of the year. Not even close. So make sure you tune into that live on Twitch. We'll be on 2 days straight. Like, obviously taking breaks, but you're all awesome, folks. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I'm recording this before Christmas and before the holidays and stuff, but I'll see you after it, of course. So thanks for watching. And thanks for watching, as always. Thank you for supporting my content. I really, really appreciate it. I'm very, very fortunate to do what I do. And just thank you. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you next year. Wait, turn the cameras off. Have a good one, folks.